I've been asked multiple times, why do I make the content that I make? Why do I make certain topics the way they are? And why don't I do other things such as stick with good news and other stuff like that? And I kind of really wanted to kind of give my thoughts, talk about the content I make for Airlim and stuff like that. And yeah, let's kind of talk about this. When I kind of first started Airlim, and it's kind of still happened the way it is, I've been kind of all over the place because I'm trying to find the footing of what I want to do for the channel. I know I talk a lot about Power Rangers. I know that I have other love interests such as, anime and loads of things like that. And personally, I still don't know where I'm going with Airlim. Obviously it's about Power Ranger topics for majority of it, but there are going to be times when Power Rangers is going to be no more, and I kind of want to pivot the content to go in other directions. I've been told that sometimes no one wants to listen to say topics that are happening in, say, YouTube drama and stuff. So that's why I've kind of tried to move that sort of content over to other channels so that I can vent, I can rage, I can get angry, I can talk, I can give any sort of conversation that I can, moving across on something different. And if you just want to stay for Power Rangers, then there aren't going to be 5 videos talking about, say, YouTube drama or whatever. But there is going to be a time where Power Rangers stops. I'm going to still continue as much because I have a lot of stuff in the head about Power Rangers and topics and stuff like that. But in the last few years, I have decided to kind of take the Power Ranger content and make it interesting, or stuff that I want to see. And sometimes this is topics that no one's really kind of talking about. And I know that not everybody likes it. I know that when one of my videos was talking about the dreaded split where everybody hates it, then some people were commenting on Facebook and oh, this guy again. But yet when for 1 year I'd only talked about it once, and they were jumping the gun because maybe they'd heard it from other sources and loads of stuff like that. But these are topics that I think are going to be very interesting. We can all do reviews, we can all look at toys, we can all talk about the leaks. But in general, when I come to think about certain stuff, I generally just really like talking about either really weird stuff or stuff that, I can't find online that I want to talk about or want to watch. And, there are tons of great creators out there who create Power Rangers. You've got Josh, you've got Ash, you've got Dan, you've got all these people that make amazing content of other things. But for me, I like talking about stuff that nobody really thinks about. I mean, I haven't really seen many videos talking about the Megaforce acting or anything like that, or the behind the scenes sort of stuff. And I feel like there's a lot more to Power Rangers than saying, okay guys, who's your favorite Green Ranger and why? Let me know down below in the comments. No, I don't see much kind of topics of what I want to talk about. I see it in other fandoms all the time, and I generally find that very interesting, and I wanted to bring that over to the Power Ranger fandom. One of my main inspirations was Masako X, when watching his Dragon Ball content, and he was talking about certain things, little things behind the scenes, or, doing a little bit more in-depth reviews, or, just talking about what he loves in general. I thought, you know what, I want to do that. I want to talk about my love for Power Rangers, the behind the scenes, stuff that no one really kind of talks about. So I kind of took a page from his book, I was going to say a leaf from his book, but a page from his book, and decided to kind of apply it to the content that I have right now. With these sorts of videos comes a conversation, and sometimes I feel like the Ranger fandom doesn't want to have a conversation at times. They just want to see what they always want to see, and that's absolutely fine. You can see whatever you want. But when I want to add in a bit of conversation, that's what I want. That's the reason why I make these videos. There's a reason why I enjoy talking about random things that I normally find, or, I'll be watching something and go, all right, there's an idea. And then there's another idea. And then tens of thousands of ideas suddenly kind of surface. Hence why I look at Twitter at times as well. I see conversations and I want to put them to videos. I want to kind of make people think. I want to make people kind of engage a little bit more, even if it's not on mine and they go off to other people and have a conversation with them. It's having that and starting it. It's kind of interesting because when I talked about the split, no one has really talked about it. But when you kind of say, hey guys, today I've got another video, we're talking about this, sometimes you see a very mixed reaction. Sometimes you see a reaction of good things, like, you know, people talk about it, they say, oh yeah, I can see them not working. Or you get the side where people argue all the time, call you names, want to threaten you because of a split from two companies that may or may not work together anymore, or still have the kind of like the good relationship that they're working with. But when you kind of bring this sort of attention, people get really either scared, and that's absolutely fine. Like, there is a lot of scariness in it to some degree because it's a big massive change, and I'm not making this whole video about the split, but the kind of thoughts that where most of these videos come from was when the Illuminati mentioned this for the first time, and it scared me. It got me thinking, like, shit, like what would happen if they did? And then these ideas talking about the behind the scenes, talking about certain things happening, that's what made me go, do you know what, I want to talk about it, because in some sort of way, if I can help people kind of go, okay, yeah, I'm ready for the split happening or whatever, then that's absolutely great. Or not, it depends on what you want to do. But it's that sort of kind of thinking more and more. It starts kind of moving off into other things where I could start talking about the comics and kind of analyzing each issue, kind of giving my thoughts on it and stuff. And yeah, it's just a nice thing to kind of do. And again, I have so many ideas. I have like this massive book that I write through all the time. I will spend like a couple of hours a night just writing down my thoughts on, you know, these video topics and stuff, and I kind of really like that. Again, I'm keeping the paper industry in business for the amount of stuff that I'm constantly doing all the time. I do think at times where looking back at the content that I've done, people can go, okay, well, was he right, was he wrong? Like, I've been wrong quite a few times. High speed, I was wrong on that one completely, and I owned up to it because, again, I was told about this. But in general, when having this, I like talking about it because some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't, but it's fun at the end of the day. I like making fun videos. I like making videos even though I'm kind of sat in a chair most of the time. But again, it's just a conversation. I also kind of keep it like as a diary. Like, if I go anywhere, if I want to talk about stuff, like, it's a diary at the end of the day, and it's just things that kind of pop into my head that I kind of want to talk about. Either it be good or bad, let it be shit or whatever. Like, sometimes I think I make some good videos, and the majority maybe I make some bad ones. But I think this is just a journey that I want to share. That's always been the kind of case where I'm still learning no matter what, even though I've been doing this for such a long time. But again, like, I want to start making content that I enjoy, which I am doing. And again, like, you know, even if one person watches it, then at least some one person's watched it that isn't myself when playing it back to see it's okay. But in general, like, there's lots of stuff that I think is interesting in the Power Ranger world. I feel like there's still a lot of untapped. Like, you've got a lot of Mighty Morphing that's still kind of like, can we still talk about it? But then when you move on to other things, it's a huge thing. And my mind is always going to constantly just keep producing stuff that I think is weird. Like, you should see the spreadsheet that I have on all these ideas that I'm still going through, that are still going to take time, and I need to sort it out because it's a bit weird. But anyway, that's me just rambling. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to make a video on why I make this sort of content because I find it interesting. I love Power Rangers. I don't think I'm ever going to stop loving Power Rangers. But I also love other things that I want to talk about, that I want to start producing, that I need to get back into. But if you notice, most of the time I talk about, like, literally Power Rangers. But at some point, unfortunately, Power Rangers is going to stop and other content's going to have to come. So yeah, I thought I would kind of talk about it, kind of make this little video to kind of go on the channel. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts are down below. Like, who else do you support? Who else do you like content-wise? What content do you like of mine? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Check out the channel memberships if you want. So yeah, thank you very much, and I will catch you in the next video. I want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and I wanted to shout out Kimono Cat. Your help does go a long way to support the channel. And if you want to consider helping the channel, then links to my Patreon as well as the channel members are listed below.
あらあら、チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。